The 2025 Kumho FIA TCR World Tour season began life at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez circuit in Mexico City back in May for rounds 1, 2 and 3 of the 2025 championship. In beautiful weather conditions, Ted Bjork would take their first race victory of the season. However, it would be all eyes on GOAT Racing and Esteban Gurrieri. Victory in rounds number 2 and 3 were a perfect start for the Argentinian's campaign. Heading over to the Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Valencia, rounds 4, 5 and 6 were much of the same. Glorious weather conditions, but this time Lynk & Co Cyan Racing, and in particular Jan Aleshay, but with a one to benefit. Aleshay winning the first and third race of the day, with Bebu Girolami taking victory in round number 5. Valencia and Mexico. Next up, Monza.
It was a very good weekend for us, yes. We didn't miss much point, to be honest. I think we just missed like the win in the second race and pole position. We had a good fight with Santi from the start to the T1. He squeezed me to the grass, which we would have all done, to be honest, even though we tried sometime to leave a gap. But you know, when you fight for a win, and you know that T1 is quite decisive, especially in touring car, we have the same cars. So if you follow each other, then all the race, there is nothing you can do. I was with two wheels in the grass, and you know, when you turn in the grass, nothing happened. So the car was keeping going straight and slowly catching the tarmac. And when it went, my left wheel touched the tarmac, it went like quite harsh into him. We are not used to see teammates fighting for position anymore. So I think we can be very thankful to Cyan to let us race on the fair way.
Ahead of the first racing action of the weekend, the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour team, alongside drivers and teams from TCR Italy, joined together for a moment's relaxation as we took a family photograph on the iconic 1.1 kilometre Monza start-finish straight. A moment's levity before the dramas of competition ensued, a great opportunity for our TCR family to come together in celebration of this wonderful category.
The field is very competitive, and when you see the gap in qualifying in Valencia from P1 to P10 was not even 4 tenths. So now with 40 kilo, let's see where we can be, and our main focus will be to be in top 10 in qualifying, to at least be there in both races. But we know that fighting for pole this weekend in Monza, it's not something realistic.
As qualifying gets underway under beautiful weather conditions on Saturday morning, it's worth bearing in mind another new format will be in operation for the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour this weekend. Qualifying 1 of 20 minutes in length, the 12 fastest drivers will go through to Q2. Qualifying 2 will set the grid for the first race of the day with a reverse top 10 for the second race on Sunday morning, and the pace was hot right from the very beginning. Several drivers were looking to make inroads into their Q1 campaign. As free practice suggests, the times would be very, very tight indeed at the top of the field. The drivers at the top of the field, though, would of course be the BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corsa team, and that man, the reigning double champion, Norbert Michelisz, takes his first pole position of 2025.
Fantastic time lap. Beautiful trophy. It's good, eh?
Michelasz Kona makes it an old BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corsa front row, Aurelien Comte, Jan Aleshay on row number 2, Santiago Urrutia and Ruben Volt 5th and 6th. Ted Bjork, John Filippi, Nacho Montenegro and Bebu Girolami round out the top 10 for race 1. High temperatures for 30 degrees, 55 degrees track temperature, 47% humidity. You know this circuit very, very well indeed. Well, now it's time for the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour drivers. Green flag waves at the back of the grid. The lights are on. In a few moments' time, the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour round number 7 from Monza springs into life. And Aurelien Comte in third position gets a fabulous start for a run down into T1. The outside line is Aurelien Comte, the inside line is Michelisz Koda, but he's been swallowed up by an armada of Lincoln Co. Cyan racing machines to the outside. Contact further back, that's Ruben Volt facing the wrong direction. Involved in him as well as the 127 of John Filippi. I think one of the Lincoln Co. cars we saw at the back of shot as well has got wrapped up into that one. Meanwhile, further up, Jan Elishay is going side by side almost seconds from Valencia once again between Elishay and Santiago Urrutia. Both drivers survive. Advantage Elishay as Comte looks to find a way past Michelisz Koda in third position, and then the remaining walking wounded of this field make their way through. Marco Butti in ninth place manages to survive the opening lap skirmishes and encounters, but Marcin War, John Filippi, all involved in that one, as well as Ruben Volt. Volt, though, back on the racetrack once again. And for Jimenez, starting from pit lane, that worked out very nicely indeed. Jimenez up in a 16th place, past the Stranded and in Strife cars ahead. Picking up Ted Bjork at this moment in time. Ted's got plenty of company indeed. That's Nacho Montenegro. Easy as you like for Nacho in a straight line. Makes his way past the 111. Bjork reluctant to give that one up, but has to cede position. Drops back into the Ascari chicane. Then Girolamo. There we go. Hunting and stalking in the background as Victor Anderson goes on to the gravel. Anderson, though, will recover the MAGP machine, and yes, he does. At the back of his shot, we can still see that car as Nestor Girolamo and Marco Butti now go side by side. Girolamo to the inside. Marco, can he go all the way around the outside of the Parabolica? No. Very wisely elects better of it, but look at the turning capability, says Marcin Guar. Unfortunately, says goodbye from race one. How many TCR cars in a line then? Can you fit through the chicane? Beautiful scenes. But before we look any further, let's take a quick look at that race start once again and try and unpick what happened at the start of this race. So at the front of the field, then Norbert Michelisz, great start, but watch Aurelien Comte in third. Beautiful launch off the line from the 107. He challenges for an early race lead, but further down the pack, look at the 27 of Ruben Volt. The Honda to the inside. Little bit of rearward contact, I think, from John Filippi is the reason that car pirouetted, and the absolute luckless Marcin Guar has nothing he can do about it. Now, on second viewing, was that a contact between John Filippi, or was it a contact between this man, Bebu Girolamo? Oh, yikes, it was John Filippi. Okay, so there we go. That explains why the 127's in strife. I dare say Ruben Volt will be somewhat unamused by that one. But these are the things that happened down at the first corner. Unfortunately, at Monza, it's an evil bit of racetrack, is that one. And 18 cars, one piece of tarmac. Sadly, somebody is going to miss out on that one. Aurelien Comte, though, doesn't want to miss out on a Kumho FIA TCR World Tour victory. Look at this one. There are two cars there, even though it's hidden behind the back. Comte with a little bit of bonnet lift. I saw that in qualifying as well, actually. Doesn't seem to be any cause for concern at this moment in time. But it's definitely something to keep our beady eyes on, as Aurelien Comte is showing significant pace. Let's have a look then as they cross the line. Last time around, 0.2 of a second quicker than Norbert Michelisz was the French driver. Benefit of slipstream, of course, is substantial here at Monza. And now look at that slipstream. This is the close down. Norbert, well aware of the threat, to the inside, starts to walk the car back onto the racing line. Aurelien Comte runs out of racing room, but Norby's very deep. Norby makes a big mistake into the first chicane. That's very deep indeed. He's going to be compromised now. Oh no, he won't. Oh no, he won't. That is the front left tyre of Aurelien Comte's 107. A little skirt into the gravel was much too much, says that Kumho slick, and Aurelien Comte slowly, discouragingly, devastatingly crawls that car in to a DNF. Norbert Michelisz's birthday present comes early at the head of the pack because he's reinstalled his teammate in second position, but with a hearty 1.6 second advantage to boot. But folks, take a moment to collectively applaud and then sigh on behalf of Aurelien Comte. That's a real shame. It was a powerful drive up to this moment in time, but unfortunately, those sawtooth curbs, they are a sharp. 2 times into the gravel / curbs in very quick order. Unfortunately, it was too many times for Aurelien Comte. Our first, is it our first DNF? Actually, no, Marcin Guar and John Filippi are already out of this one. Right then, 5 laps in the books of 11. Can we make this 30, please? Absolutely fabulous stuff. So far, Norbert Michelisz leads from Mikel Azcona. Jan Elysée and Ted Bjork. And that is Santiago Urrutia not going at racing speed. Even I can get that one right. What has happened to the Uruguayan driver, second in the championship? He said his prophetic words on the grid to Neil Cole: I just want to score the points. Well, I'm sorry, Santiago, but I'm afraid wave goodbye to those points for race number one. He's going very slowly, and I dare say we'll visit pit lane in the non-too-distant future. That's a real shame for Santiago. That'll be why Ted Bjork made his way past. I was wondering the strategy behind that one. So a 3.45 felt good for Lincoln Co. 3.4, not quite as tasty. It does seem Marcinkoir already in pit lane, so that's 2 of the 4 Lincoln Co's into an early goodbye in this round 7 of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour. And in case you didn't believe me, picture tells 1,000 words. Oh no! Mikel Azcona! Oh dear. This is not going out very well at all. Mikel Azcona's going slowly now in the BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corsa machines from second position. The Spanish driver, tail gunner to teammate Norbert Michelisz in this race. You guessed it. A little bit too aggressive, and there is the end result for Mikel. So slowly around, hopefully he can get that car either into a safe zone or back in pit lane so we don't fall. Let's have a look at the TCR Euro driver though versus the TCR Italian star. Ruben Volt doesn't quite, even with a slipstream, have enough to drag alongside. But he's a very brave man on that middle pedal. Ruben Volt gets the ALM Honda Civic stopped. Takes the position away from the sister machine, MN Motorsport car of Jimenez. What are we watching here? That's the recently just made an overtake Ruben Volt. Doing a little bit of a waltz, isn't he? Did he manage to gather? Is that a problem or is that a mistake for Ruben? Not quite sure, but the end result is Jimenez is back through again. As we take a look at the still battle-beaten and scarred Mikel Azcona, circulating in 14th. Important for Mikel, though, that's still a couple of precious Kumho FIA TCR World Tour points. By the way, while we're watching Mikel Azcona, Marco Butti loses out to Bebu Girolami, so that's a very important move for Bebu. As Ruben Volt, hazard lights on, so it wasn't a mistake. There is some kind of strife on that ALM Motorsports Honda Civic, and unfortunately what was a strong recovery drive results in yet more debris for the marshals and spectators to take home with them tonight. That is front left issues for Ruben Volt's Honda Civic, and that's why Lionel Pania misses out. You guessed it, issues with the front left-hand corner. Hopefully for the ALM Honda Civic driver, he can get that car in the pit lane and we can stay fully on the green flag conditions. Why, I hear you ask? This is why. Esteban Gurrieri on the final lap launches an attack. Bebu Girolami has absolutely no response whatsoever. Gurrieri takes the inside line. Gurrieri takes the corner. Gurrieri moves up in a 5th position. Nestor Girolami down 1. Through the Parabolica we go, and there will only ever be one winner from the first race of the weekend of the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour here at Monza. And that winner is your reigning champion. Norbert Michelisz takes the victory at the line. Jan Elysée, Ted Bjork rounding out the podium positions. And then it's Goat Racing's Nacho Montenegro and Esteban Gurrieri with Bebu Girolami rounding out the top 6.
Italy loves me, it seems. I mean, the start was the key. I knew that I need to have a good launch just because you need to keep the right momentum. From that moment, Aurelien was putting me under a lot of pressure. I really needed to defend hard. I think he was faster than me. But again, I knew more or less the places where to defend and how to do it. And from the moment he had the problem, I think it was a puncture, it was a bit more easy because already at that point we had a gap of 2 seconds, which allowed me to focus on my lines, to focus on the brakings, to focus on being clean. And this, of course, on a circuit like this helps you to maintain the rhythm. But incredibly happy. Car was fantastic, like qualifying, and it was just pure pleasure.
A commanding victory for our reigning champion Norbert Michelisz and a much needed boost to his 2025 point scoring campaign. Joining him on the podium would of course be Jan Elysée and Ted Bjork, Nacho Montenegro, Esteban Gurrieri and Bebu Girolami rounding out our top 10 runners from the first racing action of the day. Of course, at the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour, it isn't always work, and we do have an opportunity to play. And here at Monza, our drivers took that opportunity to enjoy the parkland setting and say hello to some of the fans, give them an opportunity to get up close and personal to their heroes, get their autograph cards signed, get their merchandise signed ahead of our second and final race of the weekend, about to commence now. And commence it most certainly did. A reverse grid top 10 seeing Néstor Girolami on pole position from Nacho Montenegro, John Filippi and Ted Bjork. Monza, touring cars, race number 2 reverse grid. What could possibly go wrong? Let's find out. A moment's peace before we go motor racing. The green flag waves at the back of the field and the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour round number 8 is underway. Yellow flags wave a little bit further down the pike. Everybody makes it away from the line. Here as makes no difference. Bebu, Girolami, Nacho Montenegro. And all Argentinians sweep down into T1. Ted Bjork finds the middle line. Will he find any joy in that middle line? Nacho Montenegro is the one that misses out. A few drivers straight over the gravel to the inside of the first corner, avoiding dramas as we go. Montenegro rejoins the racetrack aggressively. Ted Bjork is the race leader. Bebu Girolami now through the Curva Grande under pressure from his compatriot Montenegro. Girolami though has the run. The inside line for the Curva Grande will become the outside line for the second chicane, but Girolami, fabulous stuff, gets the deal done. Ted Bjork, absolutely no opportunity. Nacho Montenegro dearly wishes that car was smaller to insert it into the minuscule gaps that are made available to him. Aurelien Comte though decides he enjoys the look of that fight. Can't quite get the nose of the Cupra to the inside, stays in 4th position. Just back from him, Santiago Urrutia is climbing all over the back of the Hyundai ahead, and that little battle pack further down the running order sees Marco Butti and several drivers involved. Look at Norbert Michelisz though, great start from Norbert, several places gained. Esteban Gurrieri having a look around the outside of John Filippi, further down the pack, 1, 2, 3 cars wide as we run into Ascari. Gurrieri though is just about the one that makes it through. Position gain then for Esteban Gurrieri. Fabulous stuff from the GOAT racing driver as we get our way through Ascari's chicane. There's yellow flags in the background. Green again though for the run down into the Parabolica. It is Bebu Girolami leading from Ted Bjork and Nacho Montenegro. Aurelien Comte trying hard to get on the bottom step of the podium. There is John Filippi. Didn't want to be out of the car. It's a nice day for the beach, but not in full fireproof overalls. John Filippi has stranded the car somewhere on the racetrack, and unfortunately, all of that excitement of the opening lap winds down to nothing as we fall into our first safety car intervention of the weekend to recover the stranded John Filippi. He got a contact with the barriers, so that's a bit of good news. The marshals here at Monza, just like pretty much everywhere around the world, are absolutely top-notch, so they'll get that car out of the way very quickly indeed. And a big thank you to all of the marshals all around the world while I think of that topic. Okay then, while we're on the safety car conditions, but it's been whispered in my ear that we're going to have a look at the replay of the start. So let's have a look then and unpick some of the dramas that unfolded at the beginning of this motor race. It was a good launch from the line for Bebu Girolami. A little bit further back, somebody was struggling away. I think that might have been Reduzzi, struggling away from the line. But everybody made it down into T1. And Ted Bjork, that's the aggression that Ted needed. He couldn't find a way through the inside. I don't think there was contact between himself and Montenegro, but Montenegro elected to jump off the racing surface just to play it safe. And that is John Filippi being fired off into the gravel that we didn't see during the live. So the Argentinian driver may have done just that. That's a fabulous restart from behind the safety car for Bebu Girolami. He's got himself the breathing room that he needs for the 1.1 kilometre run down into T1. He's going to be vulnerable for the slipstream, but I think he's got enough of a margin. However, a little bit further back, Esteban Gurrieri is on a charge. Ruben Volt's the man he's trying to find a way past. Aurelien Comte looks to the outside of Nacho Montenegro. Second time of asking though, it's all much more restrained at the front of the field. Montenegro holds on to that one. Comte then coming under pressure from Norbert Michelisz behind. Norbert, what a start. Is he close enough? Has a look down to the inside of the Parabolica. He is, you know. That's a good move from Aurelien Comte. Very late on the brake. Did not look feasible at all until the final stage of the move. But Aurelien Comte confidently takes that position away and moves up to the bottom step of our provisional podium. That's Mikel Azcona going side by side. Azcona, very aggressive indeed. I think that was Mikel, was it? Yes, it was. It is though, that could be a mistake. Ted Bjork, very aggressive on the defence there. That was an attack that turned into a last-minute defence. Don't like to see that one too much. Aurelien Comte wouldn't have enjoyed that one iota. Good bit of driving from Aurelien. Aurelien Comte is the one with the launch. Aurelien Comte is the one with the overlap as well. He doesn't have the inside line, so the outside line is not where you want to be. Ted Bjork getting boxed in behind Bebo Girolami. Has to come off with a loud pedal. Be careful, Aurelien. These are sketchy times indeed. Comte just about gets the car stopped. Ted Bjork, though, he's got the run. Comte gets in racing room. Good driving by the 107. Very fair indeed. Bjork will have the inside line now through the Curva Grande. That's the shortest run to the next part of the racetrack, but Aurelien Comte can hold it side by side. If he can just hold that position, the outside will become the inside for the second chicane. This is the opportunity now. The second variante is an overtaking position, but Aurelien Comte, bravery and tenacity, holds on to that one from Ted Bjork. Nestor Girolami leaves it late on the brakes, defends the apex of both parts of the chicane. He's going to be vulnerable on corner exit. Which way do you go? Do you go outside or inside? Aurelien Comte decides the outside line is the line of choice, and this could be a very nice decision. Does he get it done in the Curva Grande? Yes, he does. Aurelien Comte on acceleration takes away the race lead. Didn't even need the second variante to take that position away from Bebo Girolami. We now have a new race leader. SP competition, French driver Aurelien Comte leads our slipstream chain. Ted Bjork just behind as well. We have just entered. That's gone quick, hasn't it? My goodness me, I've enjoyed this one. And Norbert Michelisz now, last lap, last opportunity. And he's got a very good run, does Norbert. If he takes this one away, he will be given the position by Bebo Girolami. To the outside line goes Norbert Michelisz on Ted Bjork. Bjork gets the car stopped into the first corner very nicely indeed. Girolami runs deep as well. Girolami's compromised. This could be a great opportunity now for Norbert. To the inside goes Ted Bjork. The inside line traditionally is the place you want to be, but that's going to convert to the outside when we get down to the second chicane. Girolami has an opportunity now, but does he have the straight line speed to stay in contention on the final lap? Let's remember, Ted Bjork trying to take that second position away. Girolami, though, very good on the brakes, holds on to the position. Norbert Michelisz buying into this one, the frantic final lap. You will not see in motorsports anywhere more than you're seeing right here and right now. Bebo Girolami, tyres have fallen off a cliff. The grip has gone away. The balance is no longer there, and Ted Bjork wants to take advantage. Norbert Michelisz wants to take advantage as well. The 105 almost off of the racetrack. Final corner then, we come through as Aurelien Comte goes through as your race leader, Bebo Girolami in second. The fight continues for the bottom step of the podium. Ted Bjork just about has that one, but Aurelien Comte for SP competition, he was absolutely unfaltered all race long, and with it the reward of the checkered flag and a race victory in the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour, the first for Aurelien Comte, an SP competition, and done so in absolutely commanding style. Exceptional performance there for our race winner, Aurelien Comte, an SP competition. The Frenchman understandably delighted with his performance. And joining him on the podium would be Bebo Girolami and Ted Bjork, Norbert Michelisz, Nacho Montenegro and Santiago Urrutia, rounding out the top 6 finishers.
It was a good start, and I exited P4, so the car was fantastic. So I'm focusing on my driving, be careful with the tire, and I take the P1. I don't know, it's fantastic. The victory is for my wife, because he was difficult week for my family, so I'm happy for the result. Thanks a lot, SP competition and Cupra.
A very happy Aurelien Comte takes the winner's trophy for what was a fabulous performance here at Monza. The Frenchman enjoying the iconic podium alongside Bebo Girolami and Ted Bjork. While they spray champagne in time-honoured fashion, let's take a look at the championship standings following 2 hectic days of racing. And it's Jan Elyshe that leads by 16 from Esteban Gurrieri. Santiago Urrutia 27 back in 3rd position, and Ted Bjork making it 3 Cyan Racing Lincoln Co's inside the top 4. That's all from the Kumho FIA TCR World Tour for now. We'll be back in action on the weekend of the 4th and the 6th of July as we head to Portugal and Villarreal. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care and bye-bye.